West Asia is on the edge, and the warnings from Iran could not be more blunt. Iran's army chief, Amir Hatami, has issued a direct warning to the US and Israel, stating any attack on Iran would come at a heavy cost. Iran's forces are on full military alert and ready to respond. The warning comes as Washington steps up its military presence in the Gulf, deploying a naval strike group led by the USS Abraham Lincoln, a move that has sparked fears of a direct military confrontation. Hatami said if the enemy makes a mistake, it will not only endanger its own security, but the security of the entire region, including Israel. He also rejected any notion that Iran's nuclear capabilities can be destroyed, even after recent US and Israeli strikes on Iranian nuclear and military sites. His words come just a day after Donald Trump said he expects Iran to seek a deal rather than face American military action. Tehran's position, however, remains firm. Iran says it is open to talks on its nuclear program, but its missile capabilities and defensive power are off the table. Meanwhile, the risk of escalation at sea is also growing. The Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps is set to hold live-fire naval exercises on Sunday in the Strait of Hormuz, a critical choke point for global energy supplies, prompting warnings from the U.S. Central Command against any unsafe or unprofessional actions. All this unfolds against the backdrop of deep unrest inside Iran. Weeks of anti-government protests over economic hardship turned deadly, with vastly differing death tolls from Iranian authorities and rights groups. Now, President Masoud Pezeshkian is urging his government to listen to public grievances, saying only just governance can protect the state from collapse. Mr. Youssef Jalali is a journalist from Tehran. He is now joining us live from Tehran. Mr. Jalali, thank you very much for your time and welcome to the program. Iranian drills are taking place tomorrow. American warships are already deployed there. Do you think a small miscalculation can result in some sort of confrontation between the United States and Iran?
Of course, we're still waiting for an official statement by the IRGC to confirm these drills. And whatever we've heard so far come from reports by different news outlets, some Iranian, some non-Iranian, reporting some notices being sent and issued by Iranian maritime officials and sent and notifying the shipping companies and mariners passing through the Strait of Hormuz that the country is scheduled to hold such an exercise in the Persian Gulf. But of course, so far we've not heard an official statement from the IRGC. But if such an exercise takes place, it's going to be a very massive military exercise or naval drill by the IRGC so far. Of course, it covers a wide area, allegedly covers a wide area from the Persian Gulf to the Sea of Oman and north of the Indian Ocean, inevitably covering the Strait of Hormuz, which is a very strategic choke point that connects the Persian Gulf to the Sea of Oman, through which more than 20% of the global oil shipment passes. So it is very strategic. And the country in the past has conducted such joint drills along with China and Russia in the same area. And now the country once again reportedly says that the planned drills are routine defensive drills aimed at enhancing the preparedness of the country's naval forces. But of course, we cannot ignore the timing. They come as the United States has maintained a very extensive, unprecedented naval deployment close to Iran's water space. And this is what is catching the alarm in Iran. The country says that it is ready for any scenario. It remains to be seen who blinks first, but the country has said that they're not going to be the first to fire the first bullet, but they wait for any miscalculation on the part of the United States Navy. If they just launch an attack on Iran, then the country would move quickly to respond.
Mr. Jalali, let me ask you this then. Donald Trump says he will be prompted to strike Iran if something provocative happens, and we know the history in Iran, the reports of oppression, the reports of suppression. How is the Iranian government going to deal with that going forward? Very quickly.
Of course, Iran has time and again said that whatever the United States is commenting on the protests in Iran or anything that Trump says about Iran's situation is regarded by Tehran as foreign interference. But it remains to be seen how things would unfold because given the fact that the United States is maintaining an unprecedented naval buildup around Iran's territorial waters, the country said that it is ready to enter into dialogue with the U.S. It is ready for talks. But at the same time, we heard it from Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi during his yesterday's trip to Turkey. He said that while Iran is ready for dialogue, it is also ready for a conflict if the United States wants to attack Iran. So this dual messaging does exist here in the Islamic Republic. And Iran says that if the United States wants to enter dialogue with Iran, it has to be based on equal footing, fair and just negotiations that honors Iran's right to enrich uranium inside the country's soil, because we see that the standoff persists since June when the talks hit a wall and then the conflict erupted between Iran and Israel, and then the United States targeted Iran's nuclear facilities. Since then, Iran has said that it continues to insist on its own position, meaning that Iran continues to reject zero enrichment. Iran continues to reject talks on its missile program, considering these demands excessive and against Iran's sovereignty. So if such a thing happens, then the two sides can find middle ground and things could be expected to be solved and resolved peacefully.
All right, Mr. Youssef Jalali, it's good to see you. Thank you for talking to us today.
Anytime.